significance and how much?
Sorry, could you repeat that? The thing was talking.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just you're open, just some thoughts on the Four Nations face-off and the excitement around it and what you're expecting.
Yeah, I think, you know, everyone's super excited, myself included. I think anytime you get a chance to represent your country, and, a lot of people I know have been itching for NHL players to have best on best, and, being able to get back to that and throw on that sweater, I think it's, going to be exciting, going to be competitive, and definitely looking forward to it.
Charlie, what about you? What goes through your mind? Get set for this event.
Yeah, kind of just going off with what Foxy said. I think this is something you dream of when you're a kid is to play in these best on best tournaments, and I couldn't be more honored, more excited to be a part of it, and I really can't wait. I'm looking forward to playing with so many of my good friends and guys that I've played with before, and it's going to be awesome. The chemistry on this team is going to be incredible.
All right, terrific. Thanks, guys. Happy to take your questions now. We'll use the raise hand function, and if you can identify yourself, your affiliate each time, and who your question is to, that would be appreciated. Colin, we'll start with you. Please go ahead. I don't know. I don't know, Bob, are you opening mics here? Oh, there he goes. Okay, Colin, go ahead. Please, welcome.
Hi, it's Colin Stevenson from Newsday on Long Island, and my question is to Adam. Adam, yeah, have a couple of Rangers teammates who were added to the team yesterday, in Chris Kreider and Vincent Trocheck. I wonder if you could just tell us what that means to you to have these guys on the roster as well with you for this tournament.
Yeah, it was exciting finding out they're going to be on the team. I think a big conversation point for this is the tournament happens pretty quickly, and familiarity, and two great players and two people that will mesh nicely with the group for sure. So finding out you're going to see some people you're really familiar with is was nice to see, and definitely a big honor for those two as well.
All right, next, let's go to Tom. Tom, welcome. Your mic should be open.
Thank you. This is for both of you guys. I guess you've had a while to think about this, Adam and Charlie. Just Tom Gilly with NHL.com, by the way. Sorry. Just what does it mean for you to get? You've known each other for a long time to have this experience of playing for USA together, and is it something you've talked about a lot over your from childhood or just even recently about getting to represent the country together?
Charlie.
Yeah. No, I think, I'd probably speak for both of us in saying just, something that you dream of growing up, and whether it was Olympics or World Juniors or any time you get to watch USA hockey, you always felt that pride in it. And it was certainly something that I strived for. And I know the same with Adam. And, I think we touched a little bit on the last time that we got to play together was the World Juniors, and we were able to win gold. So, I'm hoping we can get together and do something special again, and just can't wait for the chance to play with Foxy again, just like old times.
Foxy.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's especially growing up. I don't think me and Charlie ever even in our wildest dreams thought playing for USA in an event like this or even World Juniors was something that, I mean, obviously you'd love to do, but you don't really I think it's within the realm. And then being able to, like Charlie said, win that gold at World Juniors was something special. And then, like I said earlier, I mean, NHL players have been itching for, getting back to a best on best. I haven't been, able to participate till this and something like that. So, do with a guy you grew up with and still super close with, family super close with, it's special. And hopefully we could, repeat that gold medal winning, victory.
All right, let's go over to Dan Rosen. Dan, your mic should be open. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks guys for doing this. This actually is a question for both of you. I guess Adam, you can go first, Charlie second, just whatever order you guys want to do. There's certain guys who were obviously locks. There were the six that were picked, and then there were certain guys that I'm sure everybody who was looking at the roster would say, all right, they're going to be on it. And then there were a bunch of guys who were like, oh, well, maybe they'll be on it. Adam, I would think Trocheck and Kreider were two of those guys, certainly deserving, but not locks. Nelson, Boldy. The importance of having these guys for specific roles in a short tournament where guys can take on specific roles, whether it's defensive zone faceoffs, power play, penalty kill. I wonder if you could just touch on the importance of that instead of instead of just building a fantasy roster, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. I think, now more than ever, the talent pool is so deep for USA Hockey. You probably have a second team that could compete just as well in the tournament. And yeah, like you said, I mean, there's guys who, are able to fill specific roles and need to be able to do that. And I think, every player on the team is, going to be able to do what they ask of them. I think it's, a 10-day tournament and, it happens pretty quick. So I think any guy, is usually on first power play on their team might be asked to, be a fourth line guy, a third D pair guy, a penalty kill, a power play too. So being able to just step into that role and embrace it and accept it, I think is a big factor. And, you definitely got to have guys that are willing to do that for sure.
Charlie?
Yeah, I think in these tournaments they're so short. You show up and really I think every guy, whatever your responsibility is with your team, you kind of just can check that at the door. Whatever you're asked of by the team, and whatever you can do for the betterment of the team is what you're going to do. And I think that buy-in will be absolute from everybody. And we're all just pulling the rope. Whatever you're asked of is you're going to fall into that role and give it your best.
All right, great. We had some connection issues. I think everybody can see we have Jack Eichel from Team USA with us as well here. Jack, welcome. Hope all is well. Next, we're going to go to John Warrow. John, your mic should be open. Welcome. Please go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Thanks a lot for this, and good timing on Jack. But I've got a question for Jack and a question for either one of the defensemen. John Warrow with the Associated Press. Jack, what do you make? I'm going to ask you about the goaltending depth and how scary it might be for the other three nations to be going up against this lineup of goalies. And for the defensemen, wondering about the center depth on this team and just how deep it is, when and how intimidating it might be. Either of you guys can go first.
Jack.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I mean, I think that the goaltending depth is something that we feel we're really strong with, and but I think if you look around, there's not really any bad goalies in the whole tournament, and we feel good about our goaltenders. Obviously, they've been playing great hockey so far this season, and want them to continue that and continue to be confident and play well up into the tournament. Obviously, some tough decisions for the coach, who's going to be the one that goes in the net, but it's a good problem to have. So, and the same with the center. The center depth, I think it's always good to have guys that can play the middle, and I think we have a lot of guys that can do that. And obviously there's going to be plenty of centermen that are going to be on the wings, and I always think that it helps whether or not you're in the D zone and a guy gets kicked out of a face-off. Changing sides, having a natural centerman out there to take faceoffs on a strong side, whether that be O zone or D zone. I just think having the depth, to have those guys be able to play both positions is great, and I think we have a lot of center depth on our team. So it allows us to move guys in and out depending on where they want to play in the lineup, and not where they want to play, but the D zone, and guys who are comfortable playing low, and I think it just allows for a lot of flexibility.
Great. Foxy, Charlie Mack, who wants to take the center question there?
I think he touched on all of it. I think, uh, I think it just comes back to, what a luxury it is to have the depth in the player pool that we have. And, um, I think all those points are perfect. Guys are going to be playing, on the wing. They usually play center and vice versa. But you're going to have a lot of guys out there that are comfortable in that middle spot. And then just touching on the goalies, like, you got three world-class goalies there. So whoever's in the net, I know, there's going to be complete faith, and, it'll be on us to just do our job in front of them.
Foxy, you want to add anything there?
No, I think they touched on it all.
They got it. All right. Sounds good. All right. Thanks, John. Chris, you're up next. Your mic should be open. Welcome.
Hey, Chris Ryan from iHeart. Just for all three of you guys, strong Massachusetts connections up and down the lineup here. Having the conclusion of this tournament being in Boston, what does it mean to each of you guys, and talk a little bit about your connections, to Boston, Massachusetts.
Thanks. Why don't we start with you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously being from there, it's always special whenever we go home and play the Bruins, and get the opportunity to go play in the Garden. So no different in this tournament. Obviously, we're representing our country, and the tournament and the format's a bit different. But I mean, for me, it's so exciting to be able to play in front of family and friends, and being a community I grew up in. So really cool that the tournament's going to be partially played there, and makes me really excited.
Charlie.
Yeah. It's a home game for me. I think it's incredibly special. The two locations, obviously with the Boston Montreal rivalry, have had a lot of fun playing in that building as well. And when it shifts back to Boston, this is home for me. It's where I spend my entire year. And I know that our fans are first class. They're going to be there to support us, and it's going to be incredible when it shifts to Boston, and just all that familiarity there. Can't wait for these guys to experience that building when everybody's cheering for them.
Yeah, really. That's a good point.
Not against them.
Foxy, Mass?
Yeah, obviously not as familiar as these two, but going to school in the area and just being around and seeing how much they embrace, events, whether it be, hockey East games, the Bruins, Bean Pot. That place always seems to show out for big time events. And I think anytime you get to go back there and see some familiar faces, some familiar places, it's exciting. And it should be a fun time to get back there.
All right, great. Trey, you are up next. Please go ahead.
Thank you. First and foremost, congratulations to you guys. This question is for whoever wants to answer it. Each of you guys have a teammate on the roster, but Team USA also has two set of brothers, the Hughes and Kachuk brothers. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that sort of dynamic and what they can each specifically bring to the roster. And my apologies, Trey Matthews, Fansided, and Locked On Podcast Network.
Who's that one for, Trey? I think you got muted again. Charlie, why don't you take a stab at that one? The brothers,
I mean, I can't imagine anything cooler in the world than, well, one, I don't have any brothers. I got all sisters, but having a brother and just, I mean, the odds are already small to make it, this far, and to be able to play in this tournament, with your brother. I'm sure both the Kachucks and the Hugheses are, their families are extremely proud. I'm sure they're very excited. Got to know them both a little bit. I think it's unique that all four of them have different personalities. They all bring something special to the table. I think it's going to help with chemistry a ton, having those guys there. And they're all four of them are great people. So that's so cool for them and their family. It's really incredible.
Excited about, of course, the Four Nations face-off, the World Junior Hockey Championship coming up here shortly in Ottawa. Looking forward to that. I imagine, boys, there'll be some wagers in your locker rooms about the venture. How prominent is that in the conversations over the holidays, Foxy?
Yeah, there's definitely some wagers that go on. A lot of pride gets taken in it, and whenever, like me and Charlie said, are lucky enough to win it. So we always remind people that we were able to do that when the tournament comes on. So it's a nice excuse. But I think international events and the World Juniors specifically, I think it's always a fun time to bring out that pride in the country and hopefully be able to rub it into some of the teammates who are representing the other side.
All right, Mick, your mic will be open. Please go ahead. Welcome.
Hi, Mick Colagio, Rink Rep Blog. Jack, you see a ton of McDavid and McKinnon. Charlie, you see a lot of Barkov. Adam sees a lot of Sid. How important is the secrets that you guys, from the experience you have, seeing the frequency with which you play against these tough players, going to be shared, so that you guys can play a matchup kind of a game when you face them? Whether it's Canada or Finland, for instance.
Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have any specific secrets. I mean, they're all good players, and good players are going to make good plays. Obviously, trying to limit the amount of those, and do your best to slow them down. But if you look at all the rosters in a tournament like this, I think they're pretty well loaded with talent up and down them and game breakers in our league. So I think it's just going to be important for the team that's going to be most successful. I think is going to play together as a team as quick as possible. And I mean, I think there's plenty more players that you didn't name that are great, and I don't think I have any secrets on slowing those guys down. They produce no matter what. So you just got to be aware when they're on the ice and do your best to limit their chances.
All right, great. Let's go back to Dan Rosen. Dan?
Hey guys, so everybody that's in our line of work talks about it, so I figured I'd ask you, is Team USA the favorite?
Foxy?
I'd like to think so. I mean, definitely not gonna say we're not. I mean, like Jack just said, every team's got great depth, great players. It's a star-studded tournament, so like we've talked about, coming together the quickest and being able to plug into a role and fill that role and do that the best in this short amount of time. I think that's what's going to make the difference. But certainly from a roster perspective, a coaching perspective, I like our chances.
Jack, anything to add there?
No, I mean, I think you can make, you could probably make a case for any team, like I said earlier. Every roster is filled with good players, and it's going to be important for teams to come together quickly and, build their identity. And, like Foxy, I think maybe said earlier, or C-Mac, make sure guys are just checking their egos at the door and doing what they can to help the team win. But, obviously we feel very confident in our group and the names on our roster, but it's only half the battle. Obviously you got to go out there and do it, and excited for that opportunity.
Charlie?
Yeah, not too much to add. I think we check every single box there is, and I think the confidence amongst us in our group should be sky high. So but like these guys said, we gotta come together quick in these tournaments. Anything can happen. But going into it, I think we should absolutely have a lot of confidence.
All right, Luke, your mic should be open. Welcome.
Thanks, Fish. Luke Hanlon with USAHockey.com. This is a question for all three players. And each of you have an NHL teammate on this roster, so I'm going to exclude them from the answer. But when each of you saw the roster announced, was there a player that stuck out to you as someone that you're most excited to share the ice with?
Jack, let's start with you.
No, I mean, I don't think I can pinpoint one. Luckily for me, I've had the opportunity to share in the ice with a lot of these guys, so feel fortunate for that, whether it be in World Championships or World Junior or whatever format. National development program. So, pretty familiar with the team. I think it's good for us that a lot of the guys are familiar faces and know each other, and hopefully it allows us to come together quickly. But no, I don't think there's one guy specifically. Really excited to share the ice with all these guys.
Charlie.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I've had the chance to play with a lot of these guys, so the familiarity is great. I don't think I could just pinpoint, one guy. I think I'm excited to play with every single one of them. It's going to be an incredibly special, tournament and group, and just couldn't be happier to be a part of it.
Foxy, maybe anybody, who haven't you played with? Anybody jump out to you, maybe among the ones that you haven't played with?
I mean, like these guys said, got to play with a couple of guys. I guess, guys you play against a lot, like we talked about the skill. Like, I mean, the Hughes brothers are, about as fun as anyone to watch and, hard to play against. And same goes with, the Kachucks and a whole list of guys that, you play against and you wish they were on your team. So, definitely happy they are for this tournament, and will definitely be a lot more fun to play with them than against them.
All right, great. All right, we'll finish up with Tom. Back to you. Welcome again, Tom, and your mic is open. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Tom Galletti, NHL.com again. Just you mentioned earlier about success at World Junior level, but the U.S. hasn't won a best on best with NHL players since the '96 World Cup. Is there something to for you guys proving that we can do this? We can be the team that kind of continues that legacy and wins at the highest level in a tournament like this.
Charlie.
I'm sorry, I was losing my in and out, so I didn't hear it.
I'll take it. I think there's a lot to prove for us as USA Hockey. I think with the way the U.S. national development program's been producing players lately, and where we feel we are as a country. You look at the talent pool in the last however many years in the NHL, and yeah, I think for a while it was Canada on a pedestal by themselves, and I think for us we feel like we've closed that gap, and I think this is a great opportunity for us to prove that. And everyone can say what they want now and look at rosters and compare rosters to Snap, but at the end of the day, everything will be figured out on the ice, and we'll have our opportunity to prove what we think where we think we're at, and I think there's a lot to prove for us. So a lot of these guys on Canada have played on the big stage and won before, and in terms of internationally, or at least a few of them. For some of us, I think this is a great opportunity for us to do that.
Foxy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it perfectly. I think it's a good chance to prove we could prove that, like Jack said, that gap has been closed over the past few years with the talent NCDP is producing, and but yeah, I mean, like we said earlier, every roster is loaded with players. It's going to be when that time comes to bring your A game and try and win a gold medal.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'd like to thank Charlie and Jack and Adam for their time here today. We look forward to the Four Nations face-off here in the near future. Hope everyone has a great holiday season, continued success to all three of our players on their NHL journeys. And please reach out to us if you need anything in the meantime. Todd Beam and I look forward to assisting you on site as well. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a terrific day. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks a lot, Dave and Todd and Adam, Charlie, Jack, and everybody who attended. And just a reminder, I'll be back again at 5 p.m. Eastern today with Four Nations media availability, with Team USA General Manager Bill Guerin and head coach Mike Sullivan. Thanks a lot.
See you guys.
Thanks. See ya.